What up, peeps? Something came across my mind as I was walking to the park, actually, that I would just feel like I need to share. You guys all know that, like, I've been grieving my life at the same time as healing. Because we can feel two things at one time. We all know that. But when the grief hits, man, does it hit. And as I was walking, I was like, man, I just feel like I've been making the wrong fucking decisions my whole life. Oh, shit. I'm trying not to cry, but it's probably gonna come out because y'all already know I'm an emotional person, and I'm in tune with my emotions, and that's okay. But anyway, like, even I feel like sometimes even when I try to do the right things or try new things, or even when I'm forced to, because right now I feel like I'm forced to accept the life that I'm living right now because I can't afford the life that I want right now, and it's definitely been taking a toll on me every now and then. Like, I did a video stating how, like, I think I did a video about, like, me stating how I'm at peace but still can't get my words out, having a lot of setbacks and challenges and still in a dire situation type thing, like, but I have peace right now too at the same time, which is a complete oxymoron. Like, the peace that I can talk about right now is just like sitting on the side of the road, looking up at the sky and the trees and feeling the cool breeze and feeling the sun on my body. That's the peace. But when I talk about making the wrong decisions, like, and I know that as you grow, you learn that, like, the decisions that you made were from a place that you knew at the time. You know, like, maybe you weren't aware of some things at that time. Maybe you didn't, you know, you made your response out of trauma, like, and maybe, like, there's just some things that you learn late in life, like me. Like, I've learned so many things late in life that, like, sometimes, like, I get really mad about, because I'm just like, I should know these things by now. I should be secure by now. I should have a better life by now. And I know that a lot of that comes from a societal construct and a societal place where, like, we feel like we have to accomplish certain things in life by a certain age. And y'all already know Mel Robbins is my person because she is definitely my go-to in terms of so many things. I've learned so much from her podcast, with her inviting other experts on, but even, like, sharing her, you know, story and the things that she's went through, like, in a real honest fucking way. I love that shit, you know. And you know what's so funny? This is funny, is that, like, an older white woman is the person that is encouraging me and inspiring me right now, as opposed to a black woman from my culture that's doing a damn thing. And that's a whole nother thing. That's something that I've been writing about. You know, where I've felt community for a long time. I have felt community and support in white spaces for a really, really long time, and always questioned my belonging in black spaces, actually, and, like, trying to dive deep into that and understand why that is. why I felt, I'm putting that in past tense because that shit like completely shifted years ago. My support in white spaces and stuff, like even my view of them being performative half the time, like my view has definitely shifted. Maybe because I just had some disheartening and traumatic and betrayal moments in my career, that like, you know, I thought white people was rocking with me for a minute, and then when tables turned, and it really crushed me, because that was the only space that I felt accepted in for a really long time. But I am writing something about like my placement in black spaces and how that has like affected my life, definitely, and how like I yearn to be held and accepted and lifted up and encouraged by black women, especially because even black men have done me dirty. But anyway, let's circle back. So yeah, when I talk about decisions, right? Let's talk about being a dance teacher, okay? Like in the summer type shit. Like I think because back in the day, my classes were doing so well that I didn't think about the seasons changing. Like I was just so thrilled that like my clientele was building and the word was getting out that I was a good teacher, and then my classes were becoming super successful, that I didn't even think about the seasons. But what's crazy about being abroad is that like you recognize that like the season to actually be in America is during the summertime, because that's when international people go to you as opposed to vice versa. So like that's what I'm learning right now, and like I'm like, damn, such a fucking bad decision to be abroad right now. And like, but it wasn't my choice though. It wasn't my choice. It's just a part of my life that I've had to slowly accept and find the gratitude and joy within, you know. But man, oh man, do I miss my classes being packed in the damn summertime and all these international people coming to my class, and you know, I miss that. It's hard being abroad and not experiencing that same joy, because either people don't want to give you a chance, or it's too hard, or whatever, like it's a cultural thing or whatever. Like sometimes I feel like Americans are a little bit more open to the process, because culturally a lot of like other like countries like stifle people's want and drive to try new things and be different, and everybody wants to be like the way that you're supposed to be in your culture. Like it's just like I just feel like sometimes like we're a little bit more open. We're a little bit more open. We care about people's mental health. Like we care a little bit more. Like, because I've been learning there is a difference between being nice and caring and being kind and nice. Those are different things, y'all. Like saving face is not the same as speaking your truth and honoring your experiences and understanding that all your emotions are valid. Like it's not the same. Like sometimes it comes across as shady as fuck, or it comes across as like too nice, unreal, fake actually. You know how like people talk about LA being super fake and like New York being super like mean and stuff. Like, let's take that away. Let's take that away. I honestly feel, just from experiencing different cultures and living abroad and traveling abroad, other cultures are a little bit more fake and meaner than we are. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand that it's a cultural thing in play most of the time. You know, it's just like in our Black culture, how like we have these generational curses that we cannot break sometimes, or that we are in therapy for heavily. So I get it. I guess I'm just in this space in my life where it's just like I have to be aligned with the right energy and the right people. And if I feel, which is my intuition, that something is off, or, you know, that it's just not coming from a genuine or authentic space, then I have to separate myself, distance myself. Like, I have to put up a boundary. I said this in one of my other videos, like, putting up boundaries has and is new to me, because I never really had them in place the correct way before. I've had boundaries placed against me with other people, and I didn't understand it at the time. I actually would get angry about it, about us not being able to just have a fucking conversation. But now DIONNA is evolving. Like, I completely understand boundaries a little bit more and preserving your peace. And maybe you're just not ready to talk about certain things at that time, and you have to grow into yourself and become a little bit more self-aware. You know, so I get it now. But for me, like, alignment and energy is like where I'm at in my life. And I know that like life is about a string of decisions, and like nothing is a failure. But you know, sometimes let's be honest, it feels like that sometimes. Like, for me, definitely, because I feel like I've worked so hard and I continue to work so hard, and you know, I must be making the wrong decisions if things are not happening the way that I want them to be. Like, that's a little ego talking, but I'm just saying the way that I deserve. I don't know. But let's talk about this. Let's go back to Mel Robbins. Y'all know she my person. Like, I listened today of this episode she did with Dr. Alter, I think is his last name. And he has a PhD from NYU, and he talks about stuckness, like what being stuck actually is, where it comes from, like how to get out of it. And that episode spoke to me so deeply. And how, like, you know, we already know our lives go in hills and valleys all the time, but it's how we, you know, change our mindset, for lack of a better phrase, like, in how we get through those valleys, you know what I mean, or climb those enormous hills. And like, some things, like what I liked that was said in the podcast was we either need to remove it, replace it, or smooth it out some type of way, like take some action on it. But we have to do a deep dive first, and we have to label our tensions and our frictions and stuff like that in order to be able to understand how to get out of this stuck place. Because I am and have been feeling stuck. Like, what the flying fuck, life? Like, for real. But I also understand through mindfulness practices that, like, when things don't happen the way that we want them to, you must be called to do something different. And That's what I'm feeling right now. Like, for example, like, people ain't been in my classes, right? I have to tell myself it has nothing to do with me as a teacher, because I worked at that shit and I know how to teach a class. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with a lot of things that are in place. But maybe that empty class was for me to make this video for you. That empty class was a time for me to see how I can move in this choreography that I created in my little ass fucking room. Like, to see, like, to just like have the time in the studio to actually stretch and just move my body. Maybe that was the gift that was given to me today, time. And that's my reframe of the situation. But also telling myself it's not me, that I know that I deserve more and can do more. I just have to be led there. I have to figure it out. So what I'm leaving with you guys today, like, if y'all don't listen to podcasts, it's fine. Go to YouTube, watch a video, listen to an Audible, like, because Mel Robbins is the shit. I will say that, like, hands down. Like, just like the titles of all of her podcast episodes, like, I know at least one, because she has a trillion, at least one will speak to you in your life and where you're at, and will help you figure that shit out. Because if it wasn't for Mel Robbins, I don't know how I would even get through this time in my life right now, honestly, like, without putting daily habits into place, and trying to do the things that are encouraged to us via her podcast episodes. So yeah, much love, much love to Mel Robbins. But yeah, if you're feeling stuck, that's my suggestion for you today. If you feel like every decision that you've ever made in your life is bad and like nothing is going right, I suggest listening to one of her podcast episodes. All right, peace out, y'all.